What's up everybody and welcome back to another episode of 5 cool mods for Skyrim Special Edition. So it has been a couple of days since the last episode of this, and since then we've been getting quite a few interesting, cool, and even unique mods. Honestly, I thought at this point the Skyrim modding scene was going to start to die down, but we are still getting hundreds upon hundreds of releases every single day, which is absolutely insane. It's a crazy rate for mods to come out at, and I don't know when it's going to stop. We are still getting amazing releases from the previous Old Rim or just regular old Skyrim, and it's just making our Skyrim Special Edition better and better as each day goes by. So with that, let's just jump right into it. So first out, we have ELFX, or Enhanced Light and FX. Basically, what this is going to do is overhaul light in Skyrim. And also a quick disclaimer, on every other video I make, I pretty much am using Vivid Weathers. For this one, I did disable it to show this mod in a more kind of genuine way. So now when you're playing Skyrim with this mod installed, basically all the different light sources are going to be the only source of light. It's much more isolated, it makes the game much darker, and give it a kind of different vibe. So when you actually walk around at night, those torches and just different guards and different lights from different sources are going to be much more vibrant, but they're going to again be much more isolated. The game as a whole will just not be as lit up. By contrast, when something is actually going to light up the game though, it's going to appear much brighter and all around just have a different feel to it. I think this is a mod that's better seen than kind of, I can't explain it as I would like to. I really like the changes it makes to your game. One thing that's actually a major change is again that sunset that I did just show you guys. Sunset and sunrise are kind of crazy. They do really change the look and the feel of the game. It makes it a much powerful appearance in the game, and I really like that. It's all around a pretty cool mod and definitely one of those ones you want to use with an ENB or something like that. So the next mod I do want to show you is Dense Grass. So this is going to be very good to use with another visual overhaul. Regardless, this is going to also be available for PS4. It's a very simple mod, just making it so the grass, or when grass appears in Skyrim, it's going to be much more dense and kind of fill up your game a little bit more. The best way I could describe this is it actually reminds me a lot of tall grass from the Pokemon games. When walking through some grass previously, it was pretty sparse and you could definitely see the ground below it. Now when you walk through the grass or even look at it from afar, it definitely looks like it's much more filling. It feels like this is like, wow, the grass really grew here, although it does look very well cut, which is a little bit odd, but regardless, I actually really like the way this changes your game. It is compatible with some other mods like Skyrim Flora Overhaul, because all it is doing is taking the grass, which a lot of those other mods will just kind of change or modify the texture, and placing down more of it. Again, not for everyone, but I think it gives your Skyrim, at least in the southern regions, a more springy or fall feel, while maintaining the desolate winter feel of the northern regions. Real Bows to Skyrim is going to change the way bows look and kind of feel in Skyrim. If you've actually done anything with archery in the past, you'll realize that the bows of vanilla Skyrim don't look very realistic. Well, this mod's going to make them look much more realistic and actually feel less fantasy, maybe applying more to real world physics and how bows work in real life. That actually doesn't really matter to me. I just think what this mod does for me personally is make the bows look a lot cooler. I like the look of the regular, normal looking bows in Skyrim after installing this mod much more than the kind of fantasized bows we did have before installing this mod. This is a replacer mod, so it's going to change all of the bows in the game already, so guards using bows, enemies using bows, etc. will look different now. Again, I think this is for the better. The best way to use this is to actually use a bow and then install this mod and see if you like the changes. It's not going to be for everyone, but if you don't like the real fantasy feel that Skyrim had going with it, at least on the bow side of things, this is definitely going to be a mod you want to download and probably going to fit nicely into your game. Next up, we do have Emfy Cleric. So this is going to be part of the DX Mini Armors collection that I've been kind of throwing in each of these videos. I didn't want to put them all together, but I've been doing them separately. Basically, what that means is it's going to add in a new armor, kind of themed armor with a bunch of different pieces and a weapon set to go along with it. All these do have different themes behind them, but they're totally modular. So if you don't want the skirt or you don't want a top or something like that, you could choose which pieces you want your character to have. In this video, I'm using every single piece of this armor. So again, all these different pieces are broken up into individual armor pieces. Regardless, again, there's a theme behind this, so this one being a cleric, kind of an angelic feel behind it. You do have a halo as well as kind of that lighter feel. You also do have a mace and a pretty cool looking shield. All around, these armors, if you don't like them, are kind of a mix between slooty and maybe a little bit more practical, but beyond that, they actually are all very high quality. I really like the look and feel of these. Maybe the look could be a little less slooty for me, but regardless, I feel like it's not too bad, especially compared to some other mods or armors for Skyrim. And again, the quality is definitely there, especially on some of the weapons. Using this mace was very satisfying, especially playing in first person when you saw the blood textures on it. And frankly, to top it all off, I definitely felt like the angelic feel was a good fit for Skyrim. I definitely liked having a character with that look, especially because it kind of complemented the way I play the game already. So last but certainly not least, we do have Winter is Coming. What this mod adds in is a bunch of different cloaks and hoods for different characters, or NPCs rather, in Skyrim. These are going to be very inspired by the Game of Thrones series, so if you like the look of a lot of cloaks in there, you're probably going to like the look of a lot of cloaks that this mod does add in. There are a ton of different cloaks added in by this mod and different hoods. They're basically going to fall into one of two categories, that being either a wolf or a bear pelt and then turned into a cloak. On top of that, you also do have some different hoods, so you're going to have a regular hood and then an armored hood. The differences in a lot of these cloaks range from minor differences to actually having kind of like a royal or a fine version to more major differences where it's a dark or light version or have different embroidery on them. There's a lot of variety with this mod. That's the point I'm trying to get across, and it's actually really well implemented because these are going to be integrated into your leveled list. So one good example of people you'll find wearing some of these different cloaks or even some of the different hoods is a lot of the bandits in the game. Some of them will spawn with them, some of them won't spawn with them, but it just fits really well into the northern parts of Skyrim. You'll probably find a lot of NPCs on your travel using this mod, so then although the variety may be a little bit confusing and even frustrating at first, as you kind of explore and find more and more, it'll definitely be cool to consistently be finding new armors or cloaks with this. I also really like the kind of helmet and hood combination. There are light and heavy variants, so you'll basically have a hood, but then you'll have a little bit of a steel mask coming out of it, and I just think that looks very cool, and I really like the way that's implemented into this mod. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for this episode of 5 cool mods for Skyrim Special Edition. Hopefully you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're not spending too much money on Black Friday, although I know I'm about to. Regardless, again, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.